And this weather, bro, like I've been in here all day, so I walked outside when they pulled up.
A little wet, a little cold. Not like cold, but
yesterday, like I'm
cold.
sunburnt from Saturday and yesterday.
Congratulations too.
And then
like the camp.
Oh yeah.
All the videos.
Oh, stuff. Dope. Yeah. I was like, what? Did I win something? And then I walk outside today, and like I got the top all the way off my Jeep, all that stuff in the garage, and I'm gonna put it back up. So like, this needs to make up his mind a little bit. That's all right though. That's all right because I'm actually heading down to Naples, so I don't.
Is it nice down there?
I'm assuming it's always nice in Naples, other than hot. You good?
I'm tired.
What you tired from?
Traveling. I'm tired already thinking about.
You traveled yesterday?
No.
Where'd you go yesterday?
No, nowhere. Just from Friday. But as soon as I got off the plane on Friday, I had to be a dad. So like, it's tiring.
Nah, you don't have to be.
I mean, like,
I thought it was MFTK.
It was. It's them kids, not these kids. I actually like these kids.
Gotcha.
They we did a little they're cooler. They're better now. They're older, so they're running around, bouncing and stuff. Tired themselves out. Then Saturday I trained a little bit, and now I'm thinking about. I think I'm more tired from thinking about traveling.
You got to travel again?
I'm going to Indy tomorrow. 5:20,
oh, that's right.
5:20 flight. Then fly from Indy to the DR, and come back.
Oh, wow. You go from Indy to the DR?
Yeah, so I'm going from cold as hell to hot as hell.
How bad is it going to be in Indy? Did you look?
No, nowhere near as bad as when I went to the combine last time where it was snowing. Like, it's like, I think I'm leaving on Thursday, and Thursday is supposed to drop back down to like 20, the 20s.
Okay.
It'll be in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, that's not bad at all then.
I could deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, if it's in the 50s in Indy with as much as they've got indoors, you're good. You're good. So that'll be fun. I'll have to link you and Brock up for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I'm gonna go. I'm eyeing. Was it St. Elmo's? Is that the place where you just have to go?
Yeah, and then Prom 47.
St. Elmo's or Prom 47?
I think Prom 47 is better.
Wait a minute. Prom 47 is the one that's on the rooftop, is it?
No.
Okay.
No. I think 47 is better. But St. Elmo's is. Have you had the shrimp cocktail sauce?
From Prom 47?
No, from Elmo's.
No, I've never been to St. Elmo's.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. Yeah. So let me give you just a warning here because everybody talks about it. So you're gonna go in there, so you gotta get the shrimp cocktail.
I don't like cocktail sauce.
Okay, then don't get it because I was gonna tell you gotta be careful with this stuff now.
Is it hot?
Ooh,
like spicy?
That thing will light your ass up.
Okay, well I might like that. I like spicy.
I'm just saying, like, take a little bit.
Okay.
Take a little bit. Don't because I went hard. My first time.
You took the big old, is it a jumbo shrimp?
Yeah.
So you took the whole
I scooped it like it was like a
Frito was in dip.
Exactly. Yeah, and bro, my eyes were watering. It was like, you know what it was? It was almost like that thing we did with the chocolates.
Yeah.
It felt like that for a minute. But if you pace yourself with it, it's overrated. But it's good.
St. Elmo's is overrated, or
just
the cocktail sauce?
Just the cocktail.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, St. Elmo's is not overrated.
Because don't tell me that because I went to, I don't even remember the place I went in DC where Mickey Mouse and them was hanging out.
Oh yeah.
And I was very disappointed in the steak and everything. But I'm looking forward to getting a good steak.
Yeah, no, you can get a good steak in like 5 different places. India is like the steakhouse capital of the world.
Okay,
it's fantastic.
Don't like shrimp cocktail bothers me. I don't like cold seafood.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So, like, the first time somebody ever gave it to me, I believe we were in. First time I remember eating, I'm sure I may have had it before, but the first time I remember was when we played in the Orange Bowl, my sophomore year, and they brought the steak. You know, I always have the steak, and they bring these shrimp, and it's like in a little cup, and I'm like, yo, this is cold. Yo, can y'all go heat my shrimp up?
Y'all got a microwave.
And the guy is looking at me like, what's wrong? Like, what do you don't heat this up? I said, no, I don't eat cold shrimp. Every time I've eaten shrimp, it's been hot. And they're like, listen.
You're uncultured.
My mother my mother did her best to make me.
She's like, y'all got a hot dog?
Different stuff. But like sometimes, some places when I've like first experienced, man, I'm so ignorant and so ghetto when it comes to it, man.
Y'all were talking about steaks. I actually made the best steaks ever yesterday.
Stop.
I'm telling you, I have picked. Listen,
it looks burnt.
Come on,
it looks burnt.
I don't listen
to celebrate my new apartment. I made myself some steak.
Well, congratulations on the George Foreman grill. Like
that's not a steak.
That's definitely, no, look at it.
Look at your screen.
We're already going down the wrong path, Bobby.
Some sirloin steaks that I got and seasoned myself. You know, a little rub down.
What do we have going on here?
Manually beat the meat.
Wait.
What the inside?
Well, that's rice and cream style corn.
That actually looks dope. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I never thought to put rice on the cream corn on the
Listen,
rice.
I chef up sometimes, you know.
I just think you got to be careful.
I just found out about cream corn too, not too long ago. It's delicious.
He blamed it on white people that he didn't know.
But Bobby went to Paxton.
Stop it. Stop it.
Bobby brought, like, you know how you felt when we went to Goodfellas? You're the only white person?
Yes.
Bobby literally brought all the white people.
Listen, I also brought black people. They were just less.
Are you saying that Bobby at Paxton have cream corn every day for lunch?
Without a doubt. That's part of their lunch. That's part of the lunch. Chicken nuggets and cream corn.
And the box milk that they used to give everybody.
The steak looks good, but you just got to be careful when you talk about steak. Like, you want to get people mad at you, then say stuff like, "I made the best steak ever." Like, if you want, you probably didn't make a top 8,000 steak.
Whoa, 8,000, 8,000.
I mean, 8,000 is pretty high.
I mean, for being honest,
I was about to say top 100,000 steak. Like, it's a lot of people.
Yeah, top
steak
8,000
is cooked everywhere, man. Like,
listen, I think you put me up against the average of the best of them.
We're not talking about Waffle House.
Yeah, you're not talking about waffles in general. Like, this isn't like a subjective thing.
Like, I love you, Bobby, but I think that's like the competition level you're at right now.
All right. I got some more years.
We're talking St. Elmo. We're talking like $120 steaks here.
Oh, mine wasn't that.
And you're talking about I made the best steak with some cream corn on some minute rice.
What I'm saying is, don't. You and Miles are in this dating thing right now. Don't lead your date conversation with "I make the best steaks."
Right.
Like, that's not what you want to come in. Right. Just be like,
lead the date conversation with
keep cooking a little bit, and then like maybe after 10 years, let somebody else taste it, and then let that come in.
Yeah, I make the best.
Go back to my place. I've got 10 Tyson frozen chicken nuggets. You know what? Start there before you go to the steak.
Women say they love honesty.
Yeah,
that might win you right there. Like, listen, baby, I don't got a lot of money, but I got.
You see what's going on in the world, babe?
I got 2 Hungry Man frozen dinner, Salisbury steaks, and a box of a Texas toast.
I actually cooked a box of Texas toast with the steaks, but I didn't put that on the plate with
But you're gonna have to tell her she's gonna have to drive to you because gas is.
Oh, it's insane.
Gas is out of control right now.
I'm thinking of learning to ride a horse.
Gas is.
You gotta love somebody to drive.
Gas has hit that point where, for me, with gas, I don't notice the little upticks because it's like it goes from on my Jeep, it'll go from like $45 to fill up to like $50. I'm like, oh well, it's a little bit more. Bro, it's like 70 now.
Oh, whoa!
It's like, when did this happen?
So what I try to share with people, because a lot of people I posted it just because I was in shock when I was in. The difference between New Jersey and Pennsylvania is just crazy. It's like a 30-cent difference just crossing state lines, and everybody just had to make it into whatever. But actually, his daughter was was the flower girl at my wedding. Gary Lamagud, he told me something back in 08, summer of 08 was the last time everything jacked up. And the only because I was like I started doing travel like AAU. I had to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
So like I'm noticing my gas tank now, and it's damn near it's $4 at one point. And Gary said, "Man, I got a truck. I ain't pay attention. I'm going to drive. He's like, I gotta go." So it's like,
well, it's not like I'm not getting gas.
No, yeah, I got. So that's what he was saying. So I've always had to pay a lot of money because I have a 36-gallon tank.
Yeah,
and I do notice it, but it's not like it's more of like a running joke for me right now. Yeah. But when I left, it was like $3.55 for regular, and then I went up to Pennsylvania, and I'm like, holy crap, it's $3.80 here.
Yeah,
I was like, and then somebody was like, well, wait till you get back. And I was like, so I'm the whole flight back, I'm thinking, because I'm on E. I was like, I'll wait till I get back. Maybe the gas price will go down. We had a little drop and I'll be okay. And then this person was like, wait till you get back. It's going to be worse. I'm like, man.
It's going to be $8.
It's going to be $8. This DR trip ain't looking like it's going to happen. Like, I don't know what's going on.
I have to go to Bobby's and eat steak for a week.
This is the wild part is when I got here, I went to the gas station. It was $3.35. I was like,
yeah,
I actually saved money. All right, it worked. But, gas is wild. I got to love you to go to you.
Everything's crazy. This Sports Den brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Make sure you get to ABC. Make it an ABC week. Spring break for a lot of people next week. I think Duval no, Duval's a couple weeks, right?
A couple weeks.
So it's college spring break. Like we are, I don't even know. Is it March yet? What's today?
Today's the 28th.
So tomorrow's March. Yep. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing, where I'm at, where I'm going, what day of the week it is. Like it's dope. It's dope. I love it. I'm not complaining about it. I do know I have to leave here. I have to go down to Naples. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get into this a little bit. Our show schedule is going to change a little bit because I have committed to going down to Naples with Gardner every single Tuesday, Wednesday until the season.
Oh, until the season?
Well, until they leave for camp. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Which camp? OTAs
camp. Well, I mean, there'll be like breaks, right? Like,
yeah, I'm just like, that's a very like, there's mini camp, there's like actual.
I've sold my freedom to Gardner, basically.
That's cool.
Down in Naples, so that's like I need like a prop jet or something. Like if y'all got an easier way for me to get there, because that's 5 hours and it's boring. And then if you hit Orlando, right? Speaking of gas, don't get off on the wrong exit in Orlando. One exit is $3.50. The other exit is like $4.90.
I've lost
over by the airport.
I've lost my reason to go to Orlando not so much.
What was your reason?
Sister.
Oh,
well,
where'd your sister go?
She's going to Atlanta. She's moving to Atlanta. Like every black woman or
really?
Black person in America is deciding to move to Atlanta.
Wow.
Atlanta is what New York and LA used to be. It's like if
that's
you
good.
Can make it here, you can make it anywhere, but that's a lot of people not making it. So I'm not gonna lie to you. As an older brother, I'm concerned. Like I have concerns because like mom doesn't work anymore. Mom's retired. Mom and grandma will help her out as much as she can, but there's some times when she can't ask them. Mm-hmm. So everything turns to Big Brother, and Big Brother is just not saying yes anymore. Like I just can't do it.
I can't ask that question.
What?
Nothing.
Is she dating?
Yeah.
Not in Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying.
Atlanta's a 50-50 proposition with any guy.
Right. That like, you don't move to Atlanta.
Oh you gotta be a consonant. You gotta be a consonant. Or open. With them guys up there.
See, that's why I didn't want to ask the question. That's why I didn't want to ask it.
Both of them tasting their words.
Nobody should listen
to conversations.
Nobody should live in Orlando anyway.
Nah, Orlando's a terrible
Orlando's
place.
Absolutely miserable. So anyway, going to that, the JAG event, on Saturday was dope. Like it was absolutely dope. And what was cool was, and for those that don't know, we did like a quarterback challenge, a high school quarterback challenge, and there were quarterbacks from 4 different states, and there were like over 100 quarterbacks there. We had a great day, beautiful day in the stadium, but we had our whole staff there at 6 Points. Like we ran the event, but dude, the volunteers were freaking amazing. Like the Jags were like, hey, we have a lot of people that want to volunteer for this. I'm like, sweet. Got there, and dude, we didn't have to do hardly anything.
That's the best way to run camps.
It is.
Especially when you do it like
and they were locked. And it was, you know how long those things get.
Mm-hmm.
Like they start dragging on. We were out there for 4 hours. And man, they were like volunteers were dialed in.
When I was at the peak of doing my Army speed camps, like, and the soldiers are like, hey, y'all want to get involved? And they're like, yeah. When I told them, like, their state, like, this is your station. Yep. This is what you do. Like, boom, 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 freestyle, whatever you want for these 20 minutes. You got them. It was like we gave them like the coolest job ever. And I'm like, man, you want to come do this right here? I can show you 3. I can give you 3 coaching cues for each one of these exercises.
Let's get it.
Let's get it after. It got to the point where I was just sitting there and just watching the Army guys have fun.
Sitting there drinking scotch.
Yep.
But what was cool about the camp is we had 18 girls.
I saw that's cool.
Yeah, it really is.
That's a market that I think nobody's really tapped into yet.
It's we did it last year. So we did this last year, but with COVID, it was like really, really low numbers. I think we only had 45. We did it in their indoor. There were 2 girls. And so to go from 2 to 18, and it's funny because there were winners, but the way that like these winners were announced was they were announced as MVPs. And that's not what they were. And I've talked to the Jags about this because MVP makes it an implication that there was some judgment on this. There wasn't. There were stations. You got points assigned. Emory Terry from Jackson won, and he had the most points, period. Like, there wasn't like, oh, we thought he was better than this guy. I don't even train Emory. Like, it was just that's who won. The girl that won it, Dakota, she won it last year.
So she knew what to look for.
Well, I mean, it's just cool. She won it when they were 2. She won it when they were 18. I think she's only a sophomore, so she can come back and do it again. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, man. We had a good time. And then yesterday, man, I think we had 43 quarterbacks yesterday.
Just training.
Okay. Yeah. So
look, you had a good amount of like coverage. Like I saw.
Oh, everybody was there. Yeah, everybody was there. It was cool. And then yesterday we got Brock. It was Brock's last day, Brock Purdy, and then he flew out to Indy this morning. And so we spent most of the day with him. And so it was cool. It was cool. You've been involved in that world, and you know the team it takes around to do that, like full-time nutritionists, trainers, quarterback guys, agents, like all that stuff. So it was cool. We just all kind of met up together, went through everything one more time. He crushed it. I think he's gonna have a good week, man. So I'd love for you to be able to sit down with him while you're there.
Yeah, well, I want to hear his process and the thought process. For those who don't know, I go to the Combine, Super Bowl, different events with Sheena. It's at Sheena_Marie. Sheena Quick, awesome coverage, especially the Carolina Panthers, a lot of different things. And we were kind of on a spaces on Twitter yesterday, just talking about the Combine and different things in general. And a lot of people. What's going to be interesting is how the NFL will not spin it, but like market it, because this might be the first combine in a while that nobody's like, or draft in general, that nobody's just overly thrilled about. But I think and what I explain to people in the spaces is that's because we don't know who the top 10 are.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's just kind of standing out and like, oh, I got to have this person. It's almost like it wasn't 06 draft when I came out, except for people knew Mario Williams was pretty good. You knew Reggie Bush because of the hype and the different things like that. And it was somebody else, but there's not even really that. It's more like,
well, there's Evan Neal.
No, I'm saying there's Evan Neal, but there's nothing sexy about.
Yeah, it's big guys.
Thibodeau,
Aiden Hutchinson,
Thibodeau.
Like I've seen things with him falling on the top 10.
Right, I'm saying I'm saying those are the things. It's like Charles Cross is, but you gotta. The draft and the combine are all about storylines, and storylines are driven by skill players because that's where the game is evolving. Who's the wide receiver who can take the top off of defense? Who's the quarterback that's just sexy that you just gotta have? If you've noticed, even in high school recruiting, there's been a once in a lifetime quarterback in damn near every recruiting class, in almost every draft class since 98 probably. So like that's what always drives these things. But now it's like you got to really like ball. Like I had to tell people who Charles Cross was and why he's worthy of a top 10 pick. And I'll be honest with you, I probably only know about him because I saw his rise from a unknown prospect to a 5-star because he was committed to Florida State up until the end.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he decommitted and it hurt. Like, but he's gone to Mississippi State and balled out. That's also when I coined the phrase, I don't want anybody out of Mississippi anymore. It's not, I don't even want to recruit them. It's not that they aren't good. It's just hard to get kids out of Mississippi. Like, I don't know. Like, I used to tell Kes McCorvey this, who's from Pascagoula, Mississippi, and a couple Florida State legends are from there. I said, y'all just found out y'all were free like a few years before you even got out. I was like, I'm serious. Like, they don't leave. Like, it's like I don't know what the stronghold is.
Thought there was a wall around the state.
It's like everybody else was like, they told them that on TV is fiction. That is not real out there in Florida.
It's like, they get to the state line,
they're looking around like, can I go? Can I step? Can I step? But they do have really, really good football players. It's just tough to get them out. But again, like telling them about who are the guys that we can find that are interested, the Brock Purdy's of the world who've won a good amount. But most people just outside of our girl Mia O'Brien, nobody knows what the hell they do in Iowa in places like that. Like,
we trained the guy, and I didn't even know he's like one of the winningest quarterbacks ever in October. They call him Brocktober. Like he was selling Brocktober merchandise.
Oh, that's smart.
It was like 23-2 at Iowa State. We're not talking about Ohio State.
Yeah,
Iowa State.
23-2. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, they played the playoff in October. You got some rings. You're gonna win. Like you got some, I mean,
but to win the Big 12, because I believe they won. It was a COVID year, but they won it no matter what. Like that's a big deal.
Yeah, he's a good kid. You're gonna like hanging out with him. He's a good guy, and he's gonna put up 2 numbers that are gonna be nice.
But they did squats competition.
They're not. He's not. Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's benching. And yeah, no squats he would crush. But his L drill and his short shuttle is going to be.
I can see that. I can believe that. If you got powerful
quads,
you could stop and go pretty.
It's like
quick.
A leap,
and
a leap, and you're done.
I was showing kids at Mandarin the other day about the short shuttle because I stunk in the L drill. The 40 I did good for what I needed to do. I showed out in the short shuttle, but it wasn't because I was just super athletic. Michael Boulware, former Boulware family, just really, really good people and football players. But he showed me like the technique, the cheated. And a lot of people don't just count your steps.
Yeah.
It's 5. It's 5, 8, 3. So 5 steps to the right. Takes me 8 to go across to the left, and then I better finish in 3. Once you master that and you get control,
stepping with the right first.
Yeah, if you do a crossover, it's 4.
5. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So and then on the 8, you start throttling down at 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. And then you make your turn, and then 3 steps, like coming across the finish line. Like you don't, there's like stumble across that thing. It don't matter. Just finish. Like a lot of people pull up. A lot of people literally try to cut. Like the
L, you just can't dive.
Yeah, the L drill and the short shuttle are changing direction drills in which you don't want to change direct. You don't want to have to like stop to change direction. It's not real football. It's not how athletics is played. But at the same time, all they care about is that number. And I learned a valuable lesson. Anybody combine, just high school, all of that stuff. If you're going to your pro day, free game by big game. If you mess up, stop. Don't finish.
That's solid.
Don't finish. They're going to tell you to finish.
Get an incomplete.
But what they're going to let you run it.
Right.
But if you cross that finish line, all they're going to do is write that number down. So if you normally run, like if you're stumbling out of your 40 and you know you can run a 4.4 or 4.5 and you run a 4.7 because you finished, you ran a 4.7. But if you stumble and you don't like it, pull up and veer off. All they're going to do is send you to the back. It's going to be a little
weird. You're going to feel a little weird.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, finish. Just do it. Compete. Nah, bro. You're not here for the job interview. I'm here for the job interview. Go back, jog your ass, happy ass back.
Somebody's going to be like,
ready.
Why didn't you finish? Well, see, what happened was I was listening to the Sports Den.
Listen, I'm telling you, dog.
And this big dude said to just pull up.
I'm just giving you advice from a guy who's done it and trained, not millions, thousands of people in doing this stuff. If you cross that line,
it's a score.
It's a score. That's the score.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
And don't overly worry about like what your time is, because one person you're gonna have the time on the NFL. They're gonna say, "Oh, he ran a 4.2," and you might have ran an unofficial 4.2 to them, but there's 32 teams that have at least probably listed with 4 or 5 scouts. All their front offices there, but let's just say there's 2 scouts, so that's 64 scouts. You're going to have 64 different times. Whatever that scout puts on his paper is what you ran. If he likes you, you probably ran a 4.2.
Yep.
If he's like, I don't really care about this person, you probably run a 4.5, 4.6. Just run as fast as you can. Do what you know to do.
If I'm an NFL prospect, like I just can't wait to get this week over.
Right.
I mean, you do, what for every hour of actual things that you're doing, you're sitting around for 4, whether it's in a doctor's office or waiting your turn again or whatever it is. It's like yesterday we would throw and then it's like, okay, Brock, wait. And there's no reason, like we don't have a line, but it's just to get them used to, all right, you're gonna have to wait 4 minutes for your next throw because there's other quarterbacks got to throw the same route and all that kind of stuff. It's annoying, man. I love the combine in the sense of it puts everybody on the same testing numbers for the most part. I hate the combine because it hasn't evolved and it's still ancient. Like a lot of the stuff they're doing has no relevancy to the game today.
Right. I gotta remember before we got a show, it's like, wow, what's funny is it's like kind of how you're on 1010. The people feel you're on 1010 every day. Now that we're not on 1010.
I haven't been on 1010 in like 3 weeks.
But I'm just saying before that,
yeah.
Before we had a radio show, I was on 1010 all the time.
Yeah.
Talking about Florida State, talking about it's like, but then I got on 1010 and they just forgot all of a sudden that I know about Florida State.
We gotta get somebody knows about Florida State.
Or what I do. Like it's the oddest, it's the damnest thing. But I remember Frangie and them for like 4 straight years would have me come on and I would talk about the combine. Mm-hmm. And every year they would say, James, what's the most overrated drill in the combine?
The last 30 or the 40?
The 40. Just the 40. If you ran the 10 and the 20, good.
Right.
Yeah, only people who who even do that in a game are wide receivers and DBs. And something really, really bad happened or something really, really good happened.
And if you want to translate that, then make them go run 40s for 3 quarters and then time the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, yep. That's really where it comes down to. But I said it's the most overrated drill. It was like, well, what's the most important drill to train for when you're doing combine training? The 40. Doesn't matter what
right.
At the end of the day,
that's what
everybody says. That's what's going to get you a check. That's the oohs and ahs. But I really think, and this is almost what happened when they didn't. And this is where I get people who are critical of all the things that we've all had to be subjected to the last 2 years. Is that in the beginning, I'm like, okay, let's just sit down somewhere. And there was a lot of good that came from the quarantine. Like, just forget about COVID. Just the earth in general was like, oh my God, we're healing. Nobody's been on a river, and now the river went from green to like gorgeous blue. We saw species of animals coming out that we haven't seen.
Why weren't people in the river? I don't understand.
I don't know. Like I think people were just.
If I had a boat during that time, I would have been on the boat.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. That's a good point. It didn't say you couldn't go outside. It just said you couldn't be.
It feels like that would be the safest place.
Like just go into nature, do whatever.
Right.
People were too busy protesting what they didn't understand to even worry about what you could actually do. But my point is that was cool. Whatever, got that. The world shut down. But then everything's about money, and the NFL was about to lose, not necessarily lose money because the combine was going to happen, and they're on the hook for that. But the dip in ratings that would have happened if people just said, I'm not coming and participating in any drill if I can't have my people. For those who don't know, they were talking about bubbling it.
They did. They said they were going to bubble it
until all the agents kind of collectively, they didn't boycott. They just said, we're going to collectively advise our clients. It's in their best interest to not do anything besides the medicals. And that would have been the most boring combine in the history of
it. Was very interesting talking to current players about that, because to a person about that, they were all like, that's so stupid. Just go do the combine. Like, you don't need your people. Just go do it. Like, this is the biggest job interview of your life. And you're going to let the fact that your agent's not going to be there or your trainer's not going to be there keep you from going to your biggest job interview. Yeah. For the top 10, 15.
Right.
Cool. But for the others.
Well, yeah, for a lot of them, this is where you can go. And because not everybody has what's interesting, I haven't asked you, and I'll talk if I get a chance to talk to Brock, I'll ask him about, because that's kind of a different way, like an a la carte way for training to go, which is nothing wrong with it. It's just like, but I showed you, I think around November, December, how my boy B-Mac at Michael Johnson Performance did it. You come to Michael Johnson Performance and everything is laid out for you, no matter what your position is. I have no clue if the quarterback guy was any good, but that's your quarterback guy.
No, the same thing is here. We did the same thing with Brock.
So y'all had a sports performance?
Absolutely. Torque sports performance.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Did all that, and then we had nutritionists, every meal delivered.
Oh, okay.
They're all up there with him.
Okay, so and that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
so when people say that, like if you go to Michael Johnson Performance, they're at the I think it was Embassy Suite. I don't know, it couldn't have been Embassy Suites, because it was one of them really nice ass hotels. They got the JW. And they've got like the top 3 floors, and on those floors, that's where you go get your rehab. And you go. I remember watching B-Mac train the guys, and like I get because most people didn't get that level of service, but like he's legit. Okay, you guys are going to go do your performance training in an hour. You're going to meet me here and it was them and Exos.
Yep,
we're in the same hotel. Exos was like in the swimming pool. They were over in the jacuzzi area and stuff. And it was like a cold war going on in there.
It was
crazy. Great to watch.
I didn't do any of that. But hearing them go through the schedule yesterday afternoon, day by day by day, of this is when we lift, this is when we recover, this is when we eat, this is where we're going to recover. This is like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is exhausting. Like there is, by the time you get done with interviews and medicals and all that, these guys are there for 5 or 6 days and there is no downtime, because you also got team interviews, all that kind of stuff, media availability. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's crazy. I would like, and I don't know why somebody hasn't done it. Well, I do know, because they don't let trainers in the combine. Like you're not in Lucas Oil.
Yeah. Not just trainers, man. Like
anybody.
Like, so I get an opportunity if I stay, because I don't know, I think I'll be gone by then, but I have an opportunity to go and see quarterbacks throw. Mm-hmm. I know if I don't go, Sheena will, and I'll ask her for updates. We can't live tweet.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, which is odd, because the first session isn't live. The second session is on NFL Network, but you still can't live tweet, right, even though people can watch it. So that's the only thing that even media are allowed to see. Mm-hmm. Everything else outside of the bench press, like that's in media row. Like that's the only thing that you're like kind of allowed to watch.
It's the whole process is very interesting. I think people don't realize, they just see the combine and they don't realize what happens from January to then, and then forget January to then, what happens that week behind the scenes.
Couple days, it's a really, really long process. And actually, the most fun process is what you're used to, and that's the actual performance.
Right. Yep. That's what I was saying, the waiting and
medical stuff. And I ended up actually working with Dr. Tandrin after that, but he used to be like the head doctor for JOI with the Jags. And I had shoulder surgery and I broke my hand, and I had no issues. I played for 2 years without him. And they were like, but after they did all that moving,
it hurt.
They were like, are you okay? So it didn't hurt before you started touching it.
Before you started pounding on my shoulder, I was fine.
Yeah, but but like that whole day of medical, because there's no training to give you the patience to have to sit in a room full of guys and wait for your turn to be called. Because even when we do our physicals in college, it's kind of like, just go to, like, Thacker was the place. Go to Thacker during this time to go get your physical. And like, you just go pick whenever you want to.
Bro, how much have things changed? I remember doing high school physicals where they had us like 12 in a room. All right, drop them.
Oh, yeah. We had a physical. They used to do physical day at one of the places, or unless you went to your primary care, but they had to provide it.
I remember standing in the weight room, drop them, turn your head, cough. No, I don't even know if dude changed the glove going from each one. Like,
so I got mine.
I just thought about that.
I got mine from my primary care because I got bullied into playing football. I wasn't playing. I still to this day I know they broke the law. I didn't do 3 days of shorts.
A rule, not a law.
Okay, whatever. James, I went out full pads my first ever day of football practice, like in high school. And they were like, wait a minute, you don't have a physical. You need to go get a physical, like ASAP. So mom took me to the doctor to go get, because she's mad because she wasn't expecting me to play football. And he was like, all right. So I knew my doctor, but he's telling me, like, I've never known my doctor like this. We've never done this kind of thing before. And he's like, okay, drop your draw, son. And okay.
What's this got to do with football? I got to do this every day.
He's like,
this is football?
Put your hands on the table.
Whoa.
Like, whoa. What's going on here? Oh, hey, cough. like if you really like just explain this to somebody without,
you can be arrested for this shit now.
Yeah, like go to somebody random, don't even tell them to drop their jaw. Just grab them behind, cough, please. Like, and that's sexual assault. Except for you're paying for this. Actually, I guess some people pay extra for that, I guess.
What are we even going to talk about today? Like, I mean, I thought about this. We're gonna do the show and then we're all gonna meet, right? We should have just done that on the air. Like, we should have just combined it.
And I guess that could be this is a 8 o'clock.
Oh, I do have something on. Go ahead.
Have you seen 8 o'clock brought to you by Green Acre Sporting Goods? Green Acre Sporting Goods. Go get a gun. Yeah. Like right now?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, AR-15s, $499, 30 cal. Hey, it's some people around. It's some people around the world. Wish they can wish they can go buy something for $499 right now. Not getting political or anything, but like take up your arms.
That's not political. That's not political. It's like real. I hate when people do that. Like, oh, you should be talking. We're talking about a real life situation happening right now.
Yeah, right.
Like they are helicoptering in missiles. Think about that.
Yeah.
And we're asking you to drive to Normandy.
Yeah.
Not Normandy Beach.
Not Normandy. No, not that Normandy, but like
Normandy.
Yeah.
Or even go to greenacresporting.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you want to learn how to use it. I would recommend that. Yeah. But yeah, get to greenacresporting.com. Real quick. Have you been tuned into this coverage? Like Reddit is unbelievable right now. Reddit with all the behind the scenes footage from the Ukraine, stuff like that. Like there was a video of a dude. I feel like such a wimp and so much like not a man watching this Ukraine. You realize that Ukraine's beauty queen,
the military,
she's not in the military. She just said, "Give me a gun. I'm not leaving."
Look, man,
she said, "Give me a gun."
This ain't like the little chick that pooped on herself. That
God,
like, no,
I know what you're talking about.
Her name is, that everybody likes to posture
Gun
and
girl.
take pictures and shit.
Gun girl.
She's literally Ukraine has the most women in their military in general.
You see what she said?
But she's like taking up arms ready.
She said, "Come across that line, I'll kill you." Like she literally said that. She said, "Come across that line, I'll kill you."
I used to say the most overrated heavyweight champ of all time was Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah.
I apologize to you, Vladimir.
Yep.
I had no idea you were that much of a badass. This man's worth $80 million.
He's also the mayor of
I didn't know he was a mayor, but he's like, they have asked him if he needs to get assistance to get out. And he's like, no.
You heard the president told Biden?
Said, I'm good.
Man said, don't send me a ride, send me weapons.
Yeah. That was a bar.
Come here. You got my vote.
No.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear nothing else.
So like with all of this, right?
But hold on real quick, because the one thing I wanted to mention, I watched a video and I meant to save it and I forgot. Dude's going down the road. Did you see this? Looks down, sees a landmine.
Oh, yeah, with the cigarette.
My man had a cigarette, went and picked the landmine up, gently walks it into the woods and sets it down and comes back, never takes a cigarette out of his mouth.
Yep.
I've never felt like a bigger wimp in my life. If I saw a landmine, I would have no clue what to do.
I think my grandmother.
I'd run.
I think definitely.
And I put the cigarette out.
Definitely. Everything from gas stations has told me, like, don't have anything lit around an explosive device. But, I think my grandmother's one of the most badass women that ever lived this earth. Until I saw the Ukrainian grandmother that walked over there to those soldiers and was saying, "What are you doing here?" She said, "At least put sunflower seeds in your pocket so when you die, their flowers will be here."
Bro, I
walked right up to them with guns. Wow. Like she ain't got nothing but her thoughts and prayers, and she's walking over there, badasses.
I'm telling you, man. If y'all aren't following this on like Reddit, forget CNN, Fox News, all that stuff.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you're not following it on TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, all that kind of stuff, like the stuff that you're seeing, I want to buy Ukraine gear.
So like
I don't want it from like some website's going to make money off of it. I want the money to go there.
So
I will wire money to Ukraine.
What I was looking for, like, at first, like, CNN, Fox, and all those other guys, but they're spinning it. And it's like, they're like, oh, well, they're getting beat, heavy casualties, blah, blah, blah. Anytime you want to know the truth, just go to Twitter or Reddit, like you said. So I go on there and I'm watching they're just saying like a whole Russian infantry unit just surrendered to like 10 people because they didn't know they were supposed to kill people.
Right.
They're Russian tanks running out of gas. How do you? And my man is like, "Do you need a tow back to Russia?"
Did y'all see that?
Yes.
How stopped his car? It was like,
so the only thing that
y'all broke down.
The only thing that scares me with all of this is that it looks so bad that Putin's going to have to do something more drastic because it looks like they're just inept. It's like borderline. It's idiotic.
I cannot take my eyes off of this. Like I'm always.
Did you see the island the island they took over where nobody is there? Unfortunately, those people lost their lives. But if I'm going to die, what a better way to die? They basically all that other stuff, a bunch of harsh words or whatever, because their language is not lovely. It's not a sexy language to learn to speak.
Right.
But basically told them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah,
and I love
not basically.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
did tell them.
I don't know what it directly translates to. But I'm assuming what they told me it translates to is the truth. Like, some of it might be like, I don't know Ukrainian. And then if they tell me they said that, then I'm gonna have to go with it. But what if they said something less badass? Everything they say sounds badass. Like I used to talk about the national anthem. I'm tired of our national anthem. Not because I'm not patriotic. It's just we let R&B singers and love and country people sing it, and it sounds like a love song right now.
You want an army?
It doesn't sound like I'm about to go put my foot in your hole. I want, you know, the song I want to be our national anthem. Keith. We'll put a boot in your ass. We're the U.S. of A. That's what I want. That sounds like
we need that. Let the bodies hit the floor when we're going to war, man. The
national anthem could be just as sensitive and soft and loving as our national anthem, but I don't know what they're saying.
Nah, bro,
it's a bunch of
the tempo and tone of that thing.
It just sounds like we need
something way more aggressive.
Played in locker room.
It's hype music. It's like trying to go out and play a football game. Ours is trying to play a football game, listening to Marvin Gaye before you go out and play.
We need NBA young boy.
But am I the only one like watching this, reevaluating my life because they've got this video of this little kid, and he's in a car or something. I don't know where he's at. And he's talking about, my dad stayed back because he's going to help the heroes and he may even fight. And I'm sitting here telling my son, like, man, I'm sorry, I got to go to Naples.
Right. So what it made
you know what I mean? Though?
So when you're talking about this politician and we're talking about this, and you got some guys saying, you know, they're saying good stuff about Trump. Some guy, something good things about Putin and how he's there. Blah, blah. We love to talk about how badass our politicians are, or we put this stuff on them. Oh, he'll fight. No, all of our politicians.
I have never thought of a politician as a
not
badass.
You. I'm saying, but like if you go look,
but who is one?
Like people talk about Ted Cruz as being Ted Cruz. I thought Ted Cruz was a pussy before this.
They said Terry Crews.
I think he's a pussy too. But I thought Ted Cruz was a pussy before this. But like you got Ted Cruz leaving his home state during a natural disaster to go to Mexico and then blaming his daughters. Meanwhile, you got the Ukrainian.
You gotta be honest. We said at the time we ain't mad at him. If we had the resources, we would have too.
I would have too. But I'm saying, I wouldn't have blamed my daughters. No. I would just been like I felt like, where would you go?
From Mexico.
But I'm saying that. But then you've got these guys who have every opportunity to leave.
They should leave.
The Ukrainian president is just like, this might be the last time y'all hear from me.
Yeah.
Like fearing that he might possibly die, but it meant that much to him. And I tell people all the time, it's 2A all day. Get it, all that stuff. But let me tell you this. We have never had opportunity. I hope it never happens. We've never been invaded. The closest we've had to that is Pearl Harbor, and most of the people listening to this were not alive or didn't even have, and some of y'all don't have relatives that were alive during that time. That's the closest. Your great-granddads are probably
9/11.
Yeah, 9/11, but we weren't invaded. We were bombed by some terrorists. We've had terrorist stuff happen
active war, basically.
Yeah,
though,
but what I'm saying is we've never had Canada say we're going to, which they wouldn't because they're too nice.
Which they would, like.
But that being said, what I want to tell people is this: you're not military because the military mindset is so different.
Oh yeah,
like. Even the National Guard, and all I know is this: I am informing somebody who is close to me about what's going on, and she's just like, "Huh, really? Is that what's going on? I don't care if they call me. I gotta go. I gotta go. Like it's my job.
It is what it is.
It is what it is." And then when she gets over there, she'll be ready to go in action and ready to serve because that's the mindset that they have. It is different than when people talk about how tough Russians are and things. Those people are forced to serve.
They have no
China is forced to serve. Those we have people. The reason why our army is badass is because we put maybe too much money, but I never realized we're 50 billion more than the next closest, which is China, who forces their people. But they are just smart and armed to the T to where we can have less ground soldiers because we're just gonna bomb the hell out of your ass.
Well, the fact that our peeps want to be there and the fact that their peeps have to be there, you're seeing what happens.
Right.
You're seeing what happens. Now you got some Russian dudes in a tank being like, why are we here?
Right.
We surrender.
And that's what I mean. Like
we're out of gas.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that should never happen in a well-oiled machine. But But it's not as easy as I have a gun, I'm going somewhere, and I got to shoot somebody. I'm going to shoot somebody.
Although the Ukrainians are doing that.
Like, hold on. But
they're literally handing out guns.
What I'm saying, the Ukrainians have no choice.
I'm gonna roll up on us if you want to.
That's what I'm saying. Now you have to. Now I don't know. It's very difficult to roll up. It's only two countries that can do it, and they both got proposition. And during World War II, Germany actually hit up Mexico, and Mexico said, "Are you crazy? We're not finna go out there. We don't want those problems."
Yep.
Like it's just, but I do say this though, if my buddy Post keeps putting this, and I don't want to agree with him, but I do. Like after watching this, man, kind of makes me want to go just whip it out on the world real quick. Just let them know that we got 6. We got 6. We see what y'all can't. This is what your problem is. All right,
that's cute.
Let me let y'all finish doing that, and now you want smoke. We finna give you rip. Matter of fact, don't even play the national anthem. Play that. What's that boy who's from Jacksonville? The Who Wants Smoke?
Nardo Wick.
Like play that with the bombers coming by Russia. Like who wants smoke with me?
What the fuck is that?
But nah, but it is
it's inspiring. Like it really is.
That's the word I was looking for. Inspiring.
It's like it's cool to watch. It's cool to see. We always talk about social media and how bad it is and all that kind of stuff. But social media on this has literally united the world except for 1 or 2 countries. Like everybody is on the same page right now. And don't think that those 1 or 2 countries don't know that, right? And the other thing that it made me realize is like, I don't know if you've seen the posts that have been going off in Russia about what they tell their people and just the mind games that can be played.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you control what is allowed to get out. But like Elon Musk, no, dog.
What did he do?
That's dope. Ukraine said, we really need internet service.
So he made it happen?
Elon Musk sent up a freaking satellite and 24 hours later they had it.
Nice.
How's that for a flex?
That's dope. See, I don't mind not taxing you if you do stuff like that. Like not saying
no, I got you.
But like
yeah, cool. That wasn't cheap.
That's not like okay. Elon Musk is avoiding $1 trillion a year in taxes. Elon Musk sends up a satellite. All right, cool, bro. All right, I'll let you. I'll see you next fiscal. Then throw up another satellite. Bring internet to the hood. Like do some stuff like that. Like it is. So here's my.
He put internet in the hood. It's over
with Americans, and it's not an issue. Like
we're uniting on this. Don't get mean now.
I just want that. Let's stay like united like that.
Agree.
Like it's dope. Oh,
we can unite over Ukraine, but we can't unite over like
somebody's putting a foot in Ukraine's ass. All right, let's go. You ain't the only people who put foots in asses is United States. Let's go. Yeah, America. God bless the USA. Damn those people on the north side of Jacksonville. Fuck them. Like no. Like just let's handle Ukraine and let's take that energy and let's keep united. Let's like
that is actually such a good point.
That's the only thing I have.
You literally, as a family, are getting together and praying for Ukraine, but you won't do that for your neighbor.
Right. And that's the only that
actually
issue
is a really
that
good point.
I had. It was like, but I've always said that. I'm like, people will be like, oh, I'm godly. I go on mission trips to Africa. Like, yo, dope. Not saying multiple things can be true.
And which part of Africa?
I tell people all the time, the Africa that they show you on TV, that is Africa.
Some Africa,
but it's Africa that's like more industrialized than Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It was like when I went, I was like, do I have to get shots or anything? Like, no, you're going to Joburg. Joburg's like New York City. I'm like, oh. And then when I went, I'm like, oh. This isn't anything like what they showed me.
James looking for like lion repellent.
Right. So I did go see lions, and I was looking for the people that like can do stuff like that when they talk, and I found them, but they live in the city. Like that's how Zulus talk. Like it was so. Oh man, I got so many stories. Like they do that. I don't know how, but like it's crazy. Like they're talking, but like they clucking, but they live in the city. Like they live in, like one of the places was more industrialized than Tallahassee or Gainesville. I'm like
yeah.
They just told me, and they said, and I learned it makes sense. Don't drink the water, not because there's anything wrong with the water. It's just you're not used to that water. Like if they came over here,
yep.
Believe it or not, they tell people from other countries, don't drink our water like that because we have different things that we do to our water. But anyways, it would be nice to see.
That's kind of what I was telling you about the shrimp cocktail.
Right, yeah.
You ain't used to it.
Yeah, I'm not used to it. Everybody's shrimp cocktail ain't the same. You got to sample it. Get ready for it. The Ukrainian shrimp cocktail is got a little kick to it.
The other thing that I've learned about myself through this, I have no idea where these places are at. Because they're showing me like maps. I'm like, yo, I didn't know that bordered Russia. Like that's where that is. I thought that was down like I had.
When's the last time y'all have seen a globe or like just a map? Like
whoever made the one that's the most popular is a nationalist dipshit.
What?
Because America's like bigger than Africa. You don't really. I didn't know how close.
Alaska and Russia.
I remember Sarah Palin saying I could see Russia in my backyard, but I didn't know it was like a stone's throw.
I thought she was high.
Yeah,
yeah.
When I saw how close that was, and then somebody was like, the Bering Strait during the wintertime it gets freezes, and you can like walk all across. I'm like,
did y'all know that?
No,
legit. There's 2 islands. One the U.S. controls. One Russia controls.
I don't like that either because one's called the bigger island, and we have the little island.
That's okay. That's okay. It's the motion of the ocean.
That's the clip.
They're like, so they're like so close that when the water freezes over, you can walk from the U.S. to Russia.
I don't like
that. That's wild.
I didn't realize they were that close.
Now, first off, you got some big ones if you're walking across the ocean, even if it's frozen.
Right.
But I mean, we saw those people literally grabbing guns going to. They don't care. They would walk it.
That's Ukraine.
Yeah, we're not Alaskans. Why do I not think Alaskans and Ukrainians are that much different?
I don't know. Have I ever? I think I've met one
Especially
person from
that
Alaska
part of Alaska. We ain't talking about Juneau.
Ironically, they were black.
Really?
I met one. Yeah, it was a black guy. Played running back. I don't know. He went to Morehouse, but like this is like 2000. Like I met him on my visit. He was a running back.
How do you think the Morehouse alumni chapter is in Alaska?
I don't think there is one. When he told me he played football and he was from Alaska, I was dumbfounded.
Is there a University of Alaska?
I think so.
Do they play football?
I don't know. Actually, no, they do. I think I picked them on NCAA.
Really?
When they were doing like when they had like the FCS schools and stuff. You can recruit football players on the old NCAA game. It wasn't a lot of them.
Hey, did anybody got anything in the comments? I just want to make sure we're not like people all mad at us right now.
You guys are rah.
No.
Okay. Billy Thompson, he wanted to say he had a good time
at the
event working. He met Coach Blunt from Orlando, and they played against each other back
Rodney?
in 5A.
Yeah. He came up there?
Yeah, Rodney was up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, Billy was one of those volunteers I was talking about. Like, dude was everywhere.
Oh, if you awesome. That's not fair. If Rodney came up there, if Rodney brought a crew of people to volunteer, I know.
No, he didn't.
Oh, it was just him?
Yeah, it was. They had like 2 or 3, but it was like, no, there was a lot. I don't want to start naming names because I'm gonna miss some.
Yeah.
But no, there was a whole lot of people. What do we have? Do we miss a sponsor?
No, we did Green Acres and the Goodfellas. I mean, that's it, really. I mean, we did ABC.
I hung out another hour and a half after you left.
You weren't nervous?
I felt really at home. Look,
fair. But he eats cream corn on the regular.
Yes, yes.
But
shout out to Canned Goods.
Speaking of that, we have a comedy show coming up the 13th, March 13th and March 20th at Goodfellas.
Is Bobby going to be there?
Bobby's not on. I don't know if he's hanging out. But if he shows up, we can give him a mic if he wants to talk.
Are you going to be? I just want to know if I'm going to be the only white person. Because if
all right,
if he's going to be there, I know there's going to be a couple other.
Well, Richie will be there. Richie will be there.
This is the first time hearing of it.
Richie and Snacks will be there, so it'll be other white people. But my hate o'clock is, and I don't know if we talked about it, but when I first heard about it, I thought, wow, the wussification of football is real, and so everybody talks about this. Most suburban cities are blue. Like, whatever. Everybody paints things different ways. Oh, they're punks and this, and America used to be this way. Football is one of the greatest, most American things that we have. Forget baseball. Like football is American. Mm-hmm. And you go out there, you represent your city. That's what it used to be, or your area, your side of town, and you work hard. And you know what? You become one of the best teams that your city or your counties ever had. They remember you, blah, blah, blah. That's what makes Madison County great. Perry, and all these other places. Now,
so Madison's coach left.
Yeah, so he's going to.
Good for him. Took Robbie Pruitt's job up in Georgia.
So, but Miami is a major metro. It's very populated with different places. Most of the major metros have that. A lot of talent comes out of there. Bigger schools, and they dominate. But they also, even the lack of money. So, like when you think about Miami Northwestern, Miami Central, a lot of these other places, they're in the hood. These aren't affluent areas. The neighborhoods come together and make sure those kids have all the needs that they have. Matter of fact, Miami Central does it so well to where they have basically a college staff. They have their 10 normal coaches, and then they raise money into a nonprofit to be able to pay 10 to 20 off-field coaches to make sure that those guys are getting everything that they need. But now the FHSA has just passed 9-7, a suburban, and it was a suburban and rural or urban,
something like that.
Something like, but basically it's Pensacola, Tallahassee.
You're about to make a lot of people mad with this.
I-4 because
make a lot of coaches mad.
Well, I don't care.
St. Johns County is not suburban.
That's what I'm about to get to it. I'm about to get to that. Basically I-4 corridor, because it's not just because I think Lakeland is in the big
yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at it that much.
But Miami, those are the areas have to play each other. Whatever the classifications are, they play each other. But in the playoffs, the small counties don't have to play those people anymore. Now, it was already 1A, and they had this on us for a while, 1A and 1B. Basically 1A private, 1B country. Because the smaller country schools are smaller schools. Yep. But
even that wasn't fair because Madison County's playing like some schools got 80 people.
And Madison County is just is a school that would be okay because they're a county that cares about it. St. Johns County has almost just as many people in it, at least just as many, maybe more schools now than Tallahassee. Because Tallahassee has
absolutely, yeah.
The fact
especially big schools,
the fact that they're not in it, is crazy. Clay County, same thing. Like you are dodging the top, and you're supposed to want to play the best. Like that's the reality of it. Like I should want if I'm at a school and I play and I want to play the Miami teams. But I'll say this:
I've had conversations with 2 different St. Johns County coaches, and I share your sentiment on this. But when they explained it to me, I was like, okay, I get it. However,
could you please?
No, I can't because I have to have them do it.
I don't understand it.
When they said it, I was like, okay, I understand y'all's thoughts now, but I didn't understand well enough that I could explain it because I'm still on your side. But here's what I was gonna say: if you're one of those coaches, don't you dare let me hear you say that Hoosiers is your favorite movie because that was small versus big,
right?
Like you don't do that.
Thing. And I don't think it was them. Ponte Vedra High School is a big ass school. It's so big that they even when they split, they won't drop in the classification. They went to a state championship with very little when everybody back behind it. Bartram Trail hasn't. I don't think they. When's the last time they did make the playoffs? They've had a chance to make a run. They played against stuff. They've done things. They've had top athletes come there all the time. St. Augustine was one of the best programs.
They won a state championship. Nice won a state championship.
So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
you have every opportunity to do it.
You realize that now with the new schools open, Bartram, Creekside, Ponte Vedra, Nice are all what 15 miles apart.
Yeah,
aren't they all 7 or 8A? Yeah. Think about that.
So it's just like Mandarin High School where I coached at, we had to play Bartram Trail. So you mean in Bartram Trail beat us? So if Mandarin High School made it to the playoffs, we get to play the Miami teams, but you can't compete to play the Miami teams when you beat us? That's no. And I'm not calling, like, at the end of the day, you got to play the games. What I'm saying is, like, dude, you're shying away from competition. And what's going to end up happening is this. And you know what? And this part is irrelevant anyway. Like, because
if you're going to end up at 12 state champions.
That part, but you're also going to end up in when schools are going to go where they're going to see the better competition being played. That's what's going to end up happening is you're not playing those fast teams, those traditionally big powerhouse teams. They're going to see that you're just beating up on the sisters of the poor. Well, so either your stats are going to have to be super inflated.
I will say this. There is, like with everything, the upper 10%, Nobody has a chance against them. Because I remember a couple years ago, St. Augustine went to the semifinals, lost in double overtime. Guy that I work with, Will Hewlett, coaches St. Augustine. He was like, all been out of shape. I'm like, nah, dog, you're good. You didn't want no piece of what was going to happen the next week. And the next week, Miami Central beat that team. Yeah. It was a running clock in the second half.
I joke about when I was at Ponte Vedra and we lost to Wakulla High School. And if we would have beat them, we would have played Tampa Jesuit, which I think we could have beat, but we would have played Miami Central with Duke Johnson.
Yeah.
And I told all of them, I was like, hey, man, listen, I've watched this kid. We ain't beating him.
No.
And my boy said, no, we get. I said, no, we don't. It's not that you don't. You're good. It's not that you're not a good defensive coordinator. We don't possess that.
No,
we don't have what
you're not beating St. Thomas Aquinas. You're not beating Central. Not beating Northwestern.
But I guess here's where this is going to sound really weird, right? Because they finally split lacrosse. So lacrosse has 2 classifications, but that's because now the sport is in so many schools that they had to do that. But Ponte Vedra, and lacrosse is a rich sport. Ponte Vedra High School, ever since Tom West was there, now he's at Bowles, used to joke and say we're the public school state champs. Because every year we'd be in the Final Four, beat a bunch of private schools to get there. But St. Thomas Aquinas, Jupiter Christian, Lake Highland Prep, they all recruited kids.
IMG?
IMG couldn't play.
They could, okay. They were just.
But we beat IMG.
Okay.
Like we would, and it was a great game when we played. Like I told somebody, the problem with lacrosse is really good lacrosse is fun to watch, even if you don't know anything about it. Bad lacrosse is horrible to watch. I mean, it is the worst thing in the world to watch.
We did a show from a lacrosse game, and
that was really bad lacrosse. I remember that was on this day.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, it would have been Saturday, but I'm just saying, this day of about 4 or 5 years ago, we were in the box.
Bro, it was our first year.
Yeah, so I just saw. Only reason I saw it on Facebook.
I remember you told me one thing, that there was a goalie that the shots come so hard that it cracked his cup, and I'm like,
yeah,
nope.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But I say all that to say,
I'll get my physical and let a doctor feel my nuts.
Tom West, if anybody had a reason to bitch, it would have been Tom West, who was a coach. Because every year, he knew what he was facing.
Yeah.
He did not cry about it. He did not say, you know what, it's not fair. What we did was we tried to train, and we had our shots, but we trained our boys to the best of their ability to go out there, dominate, and win. A lot of kids went to college, but he never, and the crazy thing is Tom never, even now, at Bowles, who will be good again, be really dominant when he's done with it, does not duck competition. He wants the best. And I think that's what sports is supposed to do. It's supposed to train you to actually try to be the best. And I just don't understand this aspect of it.
Movies are literally made off of this. Movies are made off of the one team that figured out a way. Just that one day, right? Movies aren't made over the one team that figured out a way not to have to play that team. You know what I mean?
Like, and the excuse is this. So, like, all right, Bartram, I'm just using them, not picking on anybody. I don't think Bartram was. Well, I'm just saying they're a really good.
They're an established program
in one of the places. All right, you win the state championship. You were going to make it to the regionals, or you were going to make it to the Final Four every other year or whatever. Anyway, Florida High, my high school. You're doing well. You've gone to the Final Four state championship over and over again the last 5 years. You're established. Also, because I think Tallahassee is in the ones that have to play by. But Child's High School in Tallahassee. You were never going anyway. What does it matter? Well, you know who this affects more, who this sucks for is Wilson. Wilson High School got to get beat up by everybody else, but they weren't going anyway, so it doesn't change.
Well, the things have changed over there too, because now it's a magnet school.
Right. But the point is that if Wilson wins a state championship, then God bless. That does need to have a movie made.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But like a lot of these schools, Bluntstown, like you probably aren't going. You were good a long time ago, but you're probably not going to win state. Madison's going to beat your head in. Like, so it doesn't matter. Like Madison, you can compete with anybody. It doesn't matter.
This is why I don't keep up with high school football anymore, though, because they change it every year. Every single year, it's like, well, we got new districts, and this group of coaches over here were griping about this, so we appease them with this. And this group, they start griping this, so we appease them with that. It's just the same coaches are telling their kids life ain't fair.
That's my point.
And you got to overcome stuff. And
it's like now people wonder why kids aren't respecting people of authority anymore. It's because the people of authority are consistently showing that they're hypocrites. It is not like the good hypocritical stuff like, all right, man, okay, Be honest.
Should Ukraine be playing Russia?
Yeah, right. Facts. Ukraine's Ukraine,
who are we all pulling for?
We're all pulling for Ukraine. What's my man that was at Valdosta? You got a the good hypocritical stuff, not good, but okay, you got a family across the street. You got two families 5 miles away from each other.
Legit.
All right, coach. That doesn't have anything to do with football, but yeah, you're a hypocrite in life.
Right.
But you're telling these kids to compete, and at the same time, you're finding every reason not to compete. That's very difficult to line up and tell somebody. I have to tell my group, again, I'm going this I-9 ball, but we coach it real over here. We got to talk about that other flag football thing too. But
they're coming to town this week. So
I tell my sons, and his teammates, we're all third. I think we have one fourth grader. We're all the lower. It's third and fourth grade. You look at these look at the pictures on my social media. Now y'all just see the kids running.
Uh-huh.
These other kids are fourth grade, and older. They're towering over my kids.
Oh wow!
And we're whipping their ass.
It doesn't look like that. They all look the same.
Nah, bro. If you see the last team we played, it's my son comes up to one of the kids' chest, and
it's like the Cowboys and Giants and Little Giants.
It's not like that. I ain't gonna go there. My kids. Matter of fact, one kid's in second grade is the little brother. I got him playing man coverage on a fourth grader and telling him, I don't care. Your job is to make sure he doesn't score. Nobody cares. I'm drilling in their head. Nobody cares how small you are or this. You got to go out there and do
true,
it.
though.
And you know what those kids believe?
Yeah.
I tell them this. Who's the only team that can beat us? They'll all unanimously say us. They believe. They go out there, they win, they try to compete, and they don't care about if the fourth graders. I said,
freaking Nick Saban over.
We're out here whipping ass, and making them cry. I says, my job to boost your self-esteem is their coach's job to boost their self-esteem. And that's what winners do. Winning coaches say, it's not my job to worry about the other team. It's my job to worry about you. And what you're doing right now is you're trying to worry about your guys by giving them an easier path, and that's not going to help them. Imagine if we use that in college or any other aspect of life. Nick Saban's too damn good. We need to create a new league. We need to run from the Bamas of the world. The SEC already thinks they're greater than everybody. Imagine we're the national champion. There's going to be this national champion, and then there's going to be the SEC national champion.
Yeah.
Oh, pacified punk.
Listen, man, I don't want to be the guy back in my day, but this is the God honest truth. When I was at University Christian, we played everybody because there wasn't really a Trinity. They were terrible.
Right.
Really UC and Bowls, and St. John's County wasn't a thing. Yep. So it's either you got kicked out of a school or you were really good at football, and that's how you came to UC. And we had my graduating class had 43 total, not guys, 43 total.
That's pretty small.
We won 2 state championships, and I can remember going down to Clewiston, and we were playing them. We won. We were down at halftime. I couldn't call the plays because I messed up my jaw. So somebody else was. You think my coach was like, no, it's all right. They're a bigger school. Dude, they lit. Our coach messed up their locker room at halftime. He was so mad that we were losing. They were at that time, 6A was the biggest school. They were 6A. Yeah. We were 1A. What that ass though? That's the game I remember though. That and Rockledge.
Rockledge is big.
Those are the 2 games that we played that we won that I remember. It's not when we played, no offense, FAMU, but it's not when we played FAMU in the playoffs and beat them by 40. It's those games that you won in overtime against a team that had 100 people over there. And now it's not going to happen.
I can't fathom teaching my son to run away from competition on purpose. That's just me. And the only reason I say this is that I'm the one that I'm rigged down the middle, but a lot of people come on my page. My page is a social media, whatever, talk a lot about, well, that's what's wrong with these kids. And I'm going to quote Bobby on this. Not Bobby, not
Bobby Brown.
Not Bobby Brown.
Oh, Bobby Brown.
Not maybe Bobby Brown Jr. We met Bobby. I've never met Bobby Brown Sr., so I don't know. But the other guy, Clarence, whatever his name was.
Not at all, but we'll go with Clarence. We'll go with Clarence.
Remember his dad, Clarence, we met a month ago. I met a month ago.
Are we sure he's Bobby Brown?
We haven't seen a birth certificate, or he hasn't filled out a W-9.
That's why it's
we don't know what
he doesn't know. That's why it's maybe Bobby Brown.
Maybe Bobby. My point is, Bobby Bowden made this statement. Everybody talks about the kids, and the kids are changing. The kids haven't changed. The kids are exactly the same. They're trying to get away with what they want to get away with. Who's changed is the adults. Mm-hmm. If you think this world is soft and sensitive, and all these things that you consistently say, who the hell is raising this world? And these things right here is why it's soft and sensitive. It's because you're putting these things in place, and then in 10 years down the road, you'll be like, why are the kids running away and trying to reclassify everything? Because your dumbass did it just so that you can win. Because the reality is this.
I was gonna go.
You think it's gonna go? Oh, eventually it's got the pendulum's got it. It's gonna get back.
It's going when this generation grows up and realizes that when there's not somebody there to shelter them, they're gonna say, well, we got to raise our kids differently than this.
Right. That's my son, and then my sons will flourish because I tell them clearly there are winners and losers in everything. Everybody does not.
By the way, I'm guilty. I shelter the hell out of my kids because I can, and I will. Like, I mean,
it's a different type of shelter. I'm not dropping my son off in the neighborhood that I grew up with without supervision. I don't go there.
You ain't going to that gas station and tell them to get out and pump it?
Hell no. Like, no, we're not going to that gas station. I didn't want to bring, like, I was sitting there trained at the funeral, looking like, how the hell did I grow up here? I'm so much different than this. I still want, I'm not getting rid of it. Why do I want my great-grandfather's house again? I ain't never coming back here.
But you got your great-grandfather's house?
Yeah, I just signed the deed to it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was, I didn't post the pictures of it, but it's definitely a lot different than where I live right now. But it's nice, though. It's a family.
We got Airbnb it?
I mean, yeah, hell yeah. It's within walking distance from the Capitol.
Oh, absolutely.
The Airbnb the hell out of that mug.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, after my uncle told me what they did to the row house to the next, they just made it 3. Basically, it's 3 apartments.
Mm-hmm.
When in 20 years or 100 years, when my grandmother passes, we're gonna renovate that bad boy. We're going up there and renovate it. My uncle can stay if he wants to in whatever apartment he wants, but the other 2 apartments are going to be rented out.
You're in 1B.
Yeah. You're going into the.
You ain't going 3rd floor.
We're moving you out of here.
You're the one on the elevator that's below lobby.
You're in the basement. Huh? You're in the basement.
All right, we got to get out because we're supposed to meet, right?
Yep.
I don't remember what we're meeting about.
Not the show. What we're gonna do.
Content. Yeah.
You're going to Naples
You're the one going to India and then DR.
Hopefully I'll come back. I don't want to go to Indy.
How many $40 are you bringing?
For my homeboy? He can have as many $40 because I told him he's in charge of. I'm in charge.
What in the world?
Are you gonna go to Santana's Barbershop? Please, I can't go. Do it for me.
What is Santana's Barbershop?
There are really high quality haircuts that come out of that. The edges and the lines ups are really, really good. This
is a cultural moment right here. I'm just telling you.
I don't know where they're going.
There has never been a white man say, "Ooh, they give some haircuts there now." Man, those edges.
I want to say this before I get into what it is. The DR is known for that, like good haircuts. And if a woman, like I'm telling you, women, if you need your hair done right, go find a Dominican woman. Now, how will you know if she's Dominican? Look at her eyebrows. They all have the same eyebrows. I don't know why. It's this little box thing. It's kind of weird, but whatever. They also are very women are very curvaceous, and a lot of them are attractive. Some of them have had work done, but most of the barbers there are.
Wait, we still talking about the barbershop?
Most of the barbers are female, and they're dressed very provocative. And they move in a manner in which is very provocative. Well,
these are the barbers who you don't mind when their hip touches your hand while you're getting the haircut.
Yeah, man,
the ones you can make eye contact with. That is the most
uncomfortable thing.
Yeah,
like they can brush you with they can brush the back of your head with their front. Like if out of like I got my hair cut in New Jersey, good barber too. But if he would have like brushed behind me, like trying to scoop. And I'd have felt something brush behind the back of my head. You got stabbed. Like, bro, I don't need that. Don't need that thing. Don't need that thing anywhere near me.
Santana's in the DR with a free pub here.
I do need a haircut.
For Miles.
And T-Wig get healthy, man, because T-Wig can't. I'll tell you about that.
Oh, okay.
My barber is not available right now. So I might have to go get cleaned up.
All right. Well, have fun. I guess we're done for the week.
Yeah. See y'all Monday.
See y'all in a week. All right.